What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Sports Talk with Brodes. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes, where you will find out where my latest episodes have been dropped. Or you can call into the show using your voice recording app on your cell phones. Record yourself and send it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. Now let's begin. Last night, I sat on my couch from 7 to about 12:30 in the morning, just watching a beautiful sport. College hoops. What a great day. You have 1 versus 2, Duke versus Michigan State. You have top recruits in the country. Not only that, after that, you have Kansas and Kentucky, a 7-4 matchup. I mean, we're talking big dogs. Big dogs in the fight. So let's begin. The first game. Duke and Michigan State. And I love Tom Izzo. He is my favorite coach ever. I don't know why. I really don't know why. When I first became a sportsman, I was introduced to college hoops. And for some reason, Tom Izzo just grabbed my attention. I feel like I would do anything out there on the floor for Tom Izzo. But the first half, Duke out-rebounds them on the O side of the glass. Duke loses their top prospect, Marvin Bagley, because he got, by his own teammate, poked in the eye, but insanely. He had to leave the floor. He was on the floor for a while. He had to actually leave the court, go back in the locker room, come out not dressed, and his eye was so red. You could tell something was seriously wrong. This wasn't just a standard poke in the eye. But he played about 10 minutes. He had 4 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of them offensive. You could see that he had a dominant presence down low, and that's for sure. Michigan State had a rookie freshman, Jackson, very long, athletic. He could play. Grayson Allen was the story of the night. 37 points, showing his veteran leadership. I like what I saw out of him. Different kind of Grayson Allen than we're used to. Not that little pest, annoying, immature player. Senior now. He knows the role. He gave all praise to his point guard now that he's playing off the ball. He's not running the show anymore. 37 points. That's tremendous. And these threes, he was 7 from 11 for 3. These threes were contested. They were not just wide open threes. He might have had 2 of those out of the 7. These were deep, under pressure, defended, contested, 3-point shots that he was draining, and especially late. He had one at the top of the key, and he just pulled it from like 5 feet deep. Drained it. Unbelievable. 37 points. In the first half, Duke was actually only shooting 30% from the field. And that's including all the turnovers and fast breaks that they scored on. So Michigan State in the first half actually did a good job. But Duke ends up taking the W on that one, and they look scary good. I know it's early. I know it's 1 game in. But this is a little different than the Duke team, say, last year that ended up not being so hot all the way through and then finding a win streak late there in March. So after this, you had the Kentucky-Kansas game. Kentucky, youngest team they've ever had. 7 of top 100 recruits. Best ever for Kentucky. They lost 88% of their minutes and 92% of their scoring. So, I mean, it's an adjustment for sure. For the coach, Calipari, he's going to have to find a way to get this team to learn the speed of the game, how to play together fast, because they're all young. Not only that, Kansas, this was a neutral sighting game, But when I saw this stat, I was like, wow. Bill Self is 221-10 at home. Like I said, this was a neutral sighting. But is that not insane? 221-10 at home? That's absurd. Literally absurd. At the half, 34-33. Kansas was up. But you could just see, especially offensively, Kentucky's lack of experience. And obviously that makes sense. It does. It's their first legitimate test. You're walking into a huge arena, ESPN, all these famous ESPN analysts around. And, I mean, for the freshman class, it's got to be tough and overwhelming and exciting and just a lot of emotions running through their bodies. But you could tell that they were lacking experience, especially offensively. But the thing that's scary is it was still close. So what does that say about a team that doesn't look experienced at all? That they can still hold it close to a team like Kansas who have some veteran leadership like Devontae Graham. So late in the game, it was close. 61-59. Kansas had the ball with a minute left, running down the shot clock, and a great defensive stand by Kentucky. Phenomenal. Forced a terrible, terrible shot from three that was essentially an air ball. It might even got blocked out. So Kentucky has a chance to tie it with 33 seconds left. And their player Knox forces up a shot that wasn't great, but it bounced off the front of the rim. And then Kentucky ends up extending the game with fouls. And at this point, Dick Vitale is insanely praising Graham walking up to the free throw line. Praising his confidence, that walk to the free throw line, knowing he's going to sink it. Showing everyone he can sleep at night right after he knocks these two down with ease. And I was like, I do love that. And I appreciate the confident walk there. And I appreciate you commentating it. But what happens if he missed? I was thinking, man, this is a lot of pressure for this kid right now after you talking that talk. Now, I know Graham didn't know you were saying that stuff. But can you imagine if he clunked one after you were talking all that? But he ends up knocking down both, and the final was 65-61 Kansas. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful night for me. I was excited just to sit down on the couch, turn the lights off in the family room out there, and just watch some college hoops. Literally the best you can find besides Eagles. And I don't really have a college hoops team. Villanova's close to Philadelphia, but I'm not just going to hop on the bandwagon there. Like I said before, Michigan State, the coach, it definitely attracts me, but I'm not going to go out and say I'm some diehard Michigan State fan. So I don't know. I just enjoy the sport all around without having to really invest into one squad. Now, obviously, once March Madness comes around, there's a team that I prefer to win. But it's all based off of that particular year. Who's hot? Who's the underdog? Which prospects I like that year. It does all depend. So I just enjoy it for the beautiful poetry of the sport that it is. Coach Cal had me dying, though. He was pissed after the second half talking about rebounding. He was squeezing the reporter on the sideline's arms because he was so mad. And she was like, I'm not one of your players. Just joking around, but he was pissed off. He kept saying, my players say they want to win. They want to get the ring. Well, you ain't going to get one without rebounding. And I like Coach Cal. For some reason, I just feel like he's a great coach. He knows how to interact with the players. Good players coach. He has that 30 for 30 documentary on ESPN, which was phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. It talks about his struggles through the NBA, what he did for the UMass program to make them what they are, and then to where he is now at Kentucky at one of the top dogs. Let's move on to some Sixers talk. last episode, I totally skipped over that Golden State game. It was just what it was. The Warriors are clearly a better team than us. We stuck around the first half. The second half, at one point, no Embiid, no Sarge, and no Simmons on the floor. I get it, those are the starters, but what do we have on the floor once those guys are not out there? I don't know. Maybe Brett Brown has to do a little searching. This is where I think Okafor can get a little taste. I know it slows down the offense a little bit because that's his style of play, but I think we need to figure something out because when you're taking out Embiid, Sharch, and Simmons and no one else is on the floor, we're going to just have J.J. Redick toss up the threes. We got to figure something out. So what if we can run that second offense unit and slow it down a little bit, feed the big man down low, let him go to work. It's better than what we've been doing. That's all I'm saying. Maybe try it out. Maybe just try it out. But the Sixers played the Clippers. And it was a great game. I mean, Embiid played great. Ben Simmons plays great. I'm pulling up the stat line here. It was just a good win, away win too. You're talking about at the Staples Center. They come down with the win 109-105. Sharch only had 2 points, shot 1 for 8. Big Shot Bob, 31 points, 5 threes, 9 for 12. Embiid, 32 points, 16 rebounds, which was a career high, shot 11 for 20, while Ben Simmons shot 9 for 14, had 22 points, 12 rebounds, and this is the type of success you're going to have when your two players, Ben Simmons and Embiid, is having the kind of nights that they had together that night. And that's the truth. You know what, J.J. Redick, not the hottest night shooting? Okay, Big Shot Bob steps in for 31. We literally have what it takes to win basketball games this year, and it's awesome. It is so awesome. It's not only Flyers this year where I can be excited for a random Tuesday night 7 o'clock game. You know why? Because we have the Sixers on too. Sadly, tonight on ESPN, 10:30 start against the Lakers, which is going to be awesome, though, to see them play against Lonzo Ball. Now, I don't know what to do. Am I going to watch the Mark Zumoff local feed, or am I going to go to the ESPN feed and kind of listen to what other analysts think about the Sixers? I'll probably watch the ESPN one because I watch the Zumoff one all the time. And I do. I want to see and I want to hear what they're going to talk about. Now, I hate Van Gundy because all he does is complain about everything. I don't know if he's going to be on the call tonight, but he loves to complain. It's insane. It really is. Complains about the fouls, complains about the rules. Shut up and commentate the game. Unbelievable. What else do we have in the NBA? We have the LeBron and Knicks situation that occurred with Canner. LeBron is on a mission when it comes to the media this year. Social media, just talking to the media. And I read a story that someone thinks he's lost his fire, that passion to play. So he is trying to figure out how to spark himself. And he thinks that LeBron is talking all the smack, doing social media, all to kind of give him some fire. Because after 15 seasons, he just doesn't have it anymore, the fire. I don't know about that. I don't think that's it. He definitely still has the fire. But yeah, I agree that this is odd. This isn't normal. I mean, you have LeBron talking smack about the Knicks, about who they should have drafted. And then in that game, he got into a little tussle with the guy, just showing you, I ain't backing down from you, to this rookie that he was talking smack about the Knicks getting. And then Canner comes in, starts going nose to nose with him. They were going at it. You just sparked LeBron, Canner. That's what you did. You sparked LeBron James, because what happens is Cleveland comes down from a 20-plus deficit to win the game 104-101, and LeBron hits a dagger three late. Not only that, he had a beautiful and one at one point late in the game, and he hits you with a flex, mean smack the bicep. You got him amped up. You got him fired up. Who do you think you are? Seriously, who do you think you are to go after somebody like LeBron James, who ends up with 23 points, 12 assists, and one shy of a triple-double with 9 rebounds? What did you have, Canner? 20 points, 16 boards? That's great. You lost. And you sparked the beast. The Boston Celtics won 12 straight. Steve Kerr said that they're the team in the East. They're the dynasty in the East. Why? Why does this happen? Why does Boston sports just never, ever go through things that Philadelphia has? I get it. They have a great, great inside staff. They have a great personnel there in Boston, especially with the Celtics, and that's just the truth. I'll give them it. I don't like to admit it, but I will give them it. But here they go. Now they're going to go on this amazing Boston Celtics run while they still have the Patriots. The Red Sox are always in it. It's just not fair. But they beat the Nets last night. I know that's nothing special, and that's a team that most teams are probably going to beat. But they're keeping the streak alive. They won 109-102. Kyrie Irving is playing with the mask. Not a black one this time, the clear one, but he's complaining that he can't see that much. He had 25 points last night, shooting 8 for 20. They just have such a young team with Brown and Tatum. Tatum had 19 points. It's all right, though. It's okay, because the Sixers are there. The Sixers are there. Just wait. What Ben Simmons is doing, it's crazy, and it's making noise, and people are watching, because they saw what LeBron James did early in his career, and look at these numbers that Ben Simmons is putting up. You'd be lying to yourself if you said it wasn't very, very similar. Very similar. And Dennis Smith Jr., he has had my eyes wide open every time he's on the floor. He is so damn athletic, it's unbelievable. There was a play last night where he was one-on-one with Pau Gasol. It wasn't even close. The dude rises like 20 feet in the air for a massive dunk after he blows right by Pau Gasol. Wasn't even close. He is so athletic. Now, I remember he was on the list for the Sixers at one point, but when we traded up, it obviously wasn't reasonable to take him at that point. So there we are with some Sixers talk, some college hoops talk, and let's go to this Flyers team right now because they have back-to-back shutout losses against the Minnesota Wild. 1-0 the first game, and then 3-0. It was 1-0 the whole entire game last night. They let up a goal with 12 seconds in, and I knew right there, I was like, this is going to happen again. I said it as soon as that goal scored. This is going to happen all over again. And I was right. It was 1-0 until an empty net goal was 2-0. I turned it off, and I got a notification that it was 3-0. I don't know if we pulled the goalie again and they scored, or if they just scored another quick one. So now we fall to 8-8-2. And our first line was so hot in the NHL with Couturier, Voracek, and Giroux. When we played the Blackhawks before this 2-game stretch with the Minnesota Wild, they played phenomenally. And, now it's just, this is typical Flyers. And I say it every time I get into the Flyers, but just 500 team can never find that extra hump once we're reaching that 500 level. And so we play Thursday night away against the Jets, who are 10-4-3. That's obviously not going to be an easy test. Then Saturday, the Calgary Flames come to Philadelphia, 1:00 game. They're 10-7. I mean, we have a tough stretch coming up here. There's no walk in the parks. I mean, it's the NHL. There's never really walks in the park. Anyone could be anyone in the NHL any night. Then you get the Canucks home, the Islanders. I mean, we got some tough teams coming up. So Where are we? We just have to keep watching and finding out. But to me, it's pretty clear we are the same type of squad that we have always been in the past. We're just going to stick around 500, and it sucks. And I really thought that we were going to have a team that was a little bit better than that, that had a little bit more talent, a little bit more depth, which on paper we do. And, we're what, 18 games into the season, being 8-8-2. It's an 82-game season. You can go on a 10-game win streak. We've done it before. You never know. But they just frustrate me. They frustrate me. They can't get consistent enough where I'm super excited to watch. Because, am I super excited to watch the next game? Yeah, because I want to see how they do. But when you think about their last two performances, it's boring hockey. Boring. I had them on my laptop in front of me yesterday while watching the Hoops game. Wasn't even really dissected into it because I could tell. You can tell by the flow of the game. It's just, they're getting me going. Look at me. I'm getting fired up over the Flyers. Just annoying. Oh, I forgot to mention this when we were talking about the Sixers. There was a Barstool video. And if you did not see this video, you have to right now. Stop this and go find it. There were a bunch of guys dressed up in Sixers gear. Maybe 5 guys. All Sixers jerseys. They have the music playing. The first scene of the video. They have the intros. They have a big cutout of TJ McConnell. And they walk out one by one as if they were getting their starting lineup called out. They go dap up TJ McConnell. And then they walk over. They get in the huddle after. Hilarious. Just like the intro at the Sixers game. Then, this is the status of the video, not the status, what's the word I'm thinking of? The caption. The caption of the video is, this is how you clean up. So they were pretty much cleaning up their college house. They all have like beer cans and a basketball net trash can. They're all in a line, and it's like they're warming up. They're taking time with their Sixers jerseys, doing layups and doing dunks into the trash can while throwing away their beer cans. Then the next scene, a man takes a charge, and the guys come in and start sweeping the floor, and that's how they were cleaning their floor. The next scene, they get the basketball, call timeout, T-shirt guys come in, they're throwing their laundry, and the guys are catching the T-shirts in the stands, but it's really their laundry, and they're folding it. It's just hilarious, and they're all in Sixers gear, and they're just hype. It's as if it's literally a Sixers game at the Wells Fargo Center. You gotta see it. I was in tears when I was watching it. The fact that this is something me and my friends would do, just something so out there and ridiculous, but it's hysterical. And I'm like, wow, these guys literally mapped this out. They sat there, planned it out, put their jerseys on, and it's top notch. Literally hysterical. I probably watched it 5 or 6 times at this point, and I can't get enough. Really funny. So, in between games last night, the college football polls were released. Top 10, here we go. Penn State sitting at 10, 8-2 record. Ohio State, 9. Notre Dame is 8. Just outside, you have Georgia at 7 after falling from 1. Auburn at 6, and Wisconsin undefeated at 5. Just outside, Wisconsin, who I think has their destiny in their own hands. They go the rest of the way. They win the Big Ten. How can you leave a team like that out? They have destiny in their own hands. Here's the top 4. Oklahoma sitting at 4. Miami at 3. Clemson 2, which they were surprised about that high, and Bama at 1. And they were giving us the show literally in between the 2 basketball games last night. So I sat there and I saw the list come out, and listen, I love actually the idea of the college football playoff. I think it's beautiful. Did we nail it yet though? Did we nail the perfect playoff? I don't think so. Way better than just picking the 1 and 2 playing each other for the national championship. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like getting a 5 and 6 in there would be really awesome because it opens up the field for teams like, you're telling me Wisconsin right now doesn't have a chance, doesn't have a good enough football team to play at that level? I disagree if you're saying they don't. Why not have 1 and 2 get a bye, 3, 4, 5, 6 play each other, and then figure out the scheme from there? Now, I get it will drag on the college football season to another week because you can't be having these games so close together, and I get that, and I understand why that could be a problem. There could be a way to figure that out, though, I feel. So I'm saying 6 teams make it, and then I understand that people are going to say, oh, well, how about 7 and 8? They have a chance, too. Yeah, but I just think top 4, the 5 and 6 is closer to that top 4 than you're saying the top 8 play for a national championship. I don't know. I was just thinking about it the other night. Why not get 6 teams in there? And I know it can happen, and they're not done making moves to this playoff. It was a test run to add the 4, and it's clearly working. It makes it way more exciting. I think 5 and 6 should be in there. That's just me. I don't think that we absolutely nailed it yet. And the last thing here before I end the show is I had a question mentioned to me from my buddy Charlie. Let me pull this up. Out of the 3 major NCAA analysts, Melrose, Buccigross, Vitale, and Corso, who is the most informed, entertaining, best for their sport? And that's a good question. I'm a college basketball guy, obviously. Dick Vitale to me is college hoops. I find him funny. He's always been around for a while. I like him in there. He's definitely the most informed. He's been around college basketball for such a long time. Same with Barry Melrose, though. You can say the same for him. He's been around hockey. He's been around the NHL at that level. He clearly knows the game. I mean, all these guys know the game. Buccigross, to me, is the best for their sport solely because college hockey is very limited in who watches it. It's not huge. People, the common sports fan, don't really turn in to college hockey. And he reps it, though. Even club. He rocks club hockey jerseys on his show on SportsCenter. He had an Alabama jersey on, he had an Arizona jersey on, and these aren't even NCAA teams, these are just college hockey around. So he's doing the best for the sport itself to just kind of raise awareness that it's a thing, if that makes sense. He wants people to know that, hey, college hockey is awesome and you should check it out. So that's why I feel like he does the best for the sport itself. He's very passionate about it too. Even on Twitter, he's very active with all the college hockey games. He tweets that he's there. He sends out pictures that he's there. He's going to most random college hockey games either. It's not like he's going to strictly BCBU games, which he obviously does, but he'll tweet out a picture. He's sitting at the RPI RIT game. And no disrespect to that, that's great hockey. But it's not getting ratings on ESPN at 9 o'clock at night. And that's just facts. But no, every sport, I think, have great analysts. I'm not really complaining about, or not that I ever was complaining, it was just a question brought up to me, but, you know, all these guys are great. The only guys that I think are ridiculous are the guys that aren't actual reporters for specific sports. I'll just say their names. Skip Bayless, all those guys who just say hot takes for ratings. Those are the kind of stuff that I stay away from. But when it comes to these guys here that you named, I think they're all great for the sport. None of them are bad. I respect all their views, and they bring a lot of passion, and they clearly care about their respected sport. So that was a great question, Char. Thank you. And last thing. I have tweeted out a poll regarding a Boston sports fan on my hockey team who wants to come onto the show and have an episode with me and discuss Boston sports, discuss Philadelphia sports, and it seems that 80% of my fan base wants that to happen. So we're going to work out a situation where he can come onto the show and we'll have a full show together, which will be very interesting, could spark some arguments, might have to punch him in the face. I don't know yet, though. So on that note, we are going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for listening. Another great episode in the books. As always, follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes, or you can send in a topic of your choice using your voice recording app on your cell phones and setting it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. See you guys next time.